Hey guys, it's One Maxwell here, and welcome to Wrestlemania 33. Yep, my offline save has finally reached the showcase of the Immortals, and it is actually my second ever Wrestlemania that I've booked. The first one being the series that was on TW 2013, way back the 2009 into 2010 mod. So first time doing like a present day Wrestlemania or in the future Wrestlemania. So a lot of pressure. I had the debate back a couple of weeks ago on Twitter how I should book this. The main event was I was unsure how I wanted to book it in terms of match aim. I've decided to risk it and go regular. But this WrestleMania is purely about taking into the next generation. So there's a lot of older part-time superstars with facing younger superstars, and you can kind of predict how they're going to go down. But it's been fun to book. The reason this is going out way after it's been recorded is literally I'm going to spend so long putting together the brand split, so it's perfect there. I've taken on board a lot of ideas we've had over the last couple of weeks. If you haven't seen any videos correcting them, it's because they were recorded before these ideas were put to me. I love the idea of Slammies. We'll try and do stuff like that. Various other ideas. When we get the brand split, it'll probably be... I'm looking at 2 pay-per-views a month, but I'll probably do a lot of special episodes just so we can get a lot more content and give you a better idea of who we're pushing at certain times, instead of just seeing stuff at pay-per-views and going, oh, how did they get there? But as I say, because it's an offline save, I don't want to do too much on videos. I'd rather just play along, a nice fun pace, but still enjoying producing the content and letting you know how my show's going about. And it allows me to learn how other people are booking their shows and how I can make my shows better, which in turn helps everybody become a better TW player. So WrestleMania 33, true to real life, we've booked it in the Citrus Bowl. 74,000 is the capacity roughly. We are looking at probably 65,000 here. So all we can do is crack on with the show. So we go WrestleMania 33, let's go. So remember, I'm finding out these results as well as soon as you are, so it's going to be a live response. So we start off with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal in the pre-show. We are featuring Alberto Del Rio. Baron Corbin comes up from NXT to participate in this matchup. Cody Rhodes, Damien Sandow, Darren Young, Doomsday, Drew Galloway, Heath Slater, Hideo Itami, Jack Swagger, Jay Lethal, Jimmy and Jey Uso, Kalisto, Kane, King Barrett, Kofi Kingston, Mark Henry, Neville, Primo, R-Truth, Samoa Joe, Sheamus, Sin Cara, Teddy DiBiase Jr., Tetsuya Naito, Tomohiro Ishii, Tyson Kidd, Xavier Woods, and Zack Ryder. So basically everybody that's not on the main card. So B minus 74 is pretty good. In front of 59,453, quite gutted I couldn't break 60,000, but we'll take it. So in a pre-show match that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, Darren Young won a Battle Royal in 25 minutes and 18. Yep, we are making Darren Young great again, and he is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner. The other members of the Final Four were Sheamus, Samoa Joe and Alberto Del Rio, with Sheamus being the final elimination. Del Rio got the most eliminations. As we said, it's Darren Young who wins the Battle Royal. So let's have a look then. Del Rio was slowed by injury. Del Rio was getting better at his gimmick. Sandow, Galloway, Slater, not suited their gimmick, either is Kofi Kingston. Sheamus and Mark Henry were off their game. Jey Uso was also slowed down by an injury, and Kane is foreshadowing a heel turn, which I don't think is ever going to come. But it was a good performance there. I'm quite happy with that rating. Quite a few improvements there. Damien Sandow in Rumble, Kofi Kingston in Technical, Mark Henry in Technical, Mark Henry in Performance, Tyson Kidd in Technical and Performance, Hideo Itami in Rumble and Performance, and Xavier Woods on Performance as well. So overall, I'm quite happy with that. Got a bit a lot of negatives and a lot of positives, so we'll not run through them, but pretty happy with that for our opener. So we start off with the usual hype package for WrestleMania, with our main feuds, and also seeing stuff like Pyro, etc. So it basically hypes up that we're going to see Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. We are going to see The Undertaker take on Kevin Owens, and of course that Battle of the Bloodline, Dwayne Johnson, Roman Reigns, and that gets us an 892. So the 3 storylines advance. I guess they show off to a good start. Can't argue with that. Then next up, because we don't have Lillian Garcia. I still wanted to do the national anthem since they do that in real life still. Obviously, we had Fifth Harmony at WrestleMania just there. So I've just went with Renee Young. So ignore the text there, which makes it look like she's going to be on Playboy. Just wanted somebody that was going to get a decent rating on sex appeal. So C plus 69 for Renee Young, despite being Canadian, singing the American national anthem. It doesn't make sense, but I'm trying to keep it realistic in that regard. It's better than the other idea I had, which was Michael Cole. Think we'd rather Renee Young. So next up, we start off with Bray Wyatt coming out to an elaborate entrance. Obviously, all the fireflies and all the followers there, so that's a B plus 86, although I don't know how that would go down in the daylight, but we'll ignore that. And the match he's in, they're pretty good. Basically, I told you a card on the last video, unfortunately. We had Jeff Hardy debut, get concussed just before this matchup, was not able to take part in a ladder match, so Bray Wyatt had to be added. And of course, we meant to go Dean Ambrose versus Randy Orton, and Randy Orton failed the wellness policy. So it ended up being a bout that had some superb wrestling and great heat that saw Shinsuke Nakamura defeat Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, Cesaro, Rusev and Big E in a ladder match in 17 minutes and 43 when Shinsuke Nakamura retrieved the item. Nakamura makes defence number 7 of the US title, not quite ready to take it off him just yet. A B plus 84, they get the crowd hotter. A lot of good performances there. Ambrose 94, Nakamura 92, Bray Wyatt 84, Cesaro 93, Rusev 84, and 86 from Big E. Continues the storyline going into the future brand split. And an increase in performance skills for Bray Wyatt, Rusev, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Negatives here: Cap maybe could have made the match a bit longer, and a lack of associated storyline, or hot storyline. Few inconsistencies as well, but overall I'm pretty happy with that. And basically after this we just have Nakamura celebrating to an 89. The guy's got over like hell. I do want to take the title off him eventually, but I feel like we may as well keep it on him at the moment before he's ready for that main event push. Next up, in a bout that had some good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, and a surprise rating of a B82, which I didn't expect, with Apollo Crews defeat Tyler Breeze in 11:57 by pinfall. With a standing shooting star press, Apollo Crews wins the Intercontinental title. So I made these two go all out. It was the Next Generation storyline, which has advanced. Get the crowd buzzing. Apollo Crews with 75 and Tyler Breeze with a 67. So delighted with that. No skill improvements in this instance. Negatives here: stamina for both wrestlers, but a very good showing. Delighted for them. Next up, we had the tag team titles defended in a fatal 4-way, and it was about that had some good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. And we see Enzo and Big Cass defeat Gallows and Anderson, Harper and Rowan, and the Detroit Machine Guns in 12:53 when Enzo Amore defeated Eric Rowan by the flying crossbody. Enzo and Big Cass are your new tag team champions. So B82, I think that was capped again due to the time. Amazing to think I've actually filled out the full 5 hours as well. Big Cass not suited his gimmick, which get a little effect on his performance at 66. Enzo 61, 81 for Anderson, 80 for Gallows, 59 for Rowan, 79 for Harper, 78 and 77 respectively for Sabin and Shelley. So pretty good there. Hopefully that gets Enzo and Big Cass over a little bit more. Technical skill improvements for Harper and Big Cass, Rumble for Rowan, and some performance skills for the Machine Gun, Carl Anderson. So delighted with that. I've quite a few negatives there. Would be amazed if that got much higher, but still pretty happy with that. And then we just have a celebration with Enzo and Big Cass. Disappointing it was just a C plus 68, but it gives them their moment, and hopefully a little boost to overness, because it's happening in such a grand stage. This actually disappointed a lot worse than I thought it would. I thought all 6 divas have been absolutely fantastic for me, so I thought let's put them all in the one match, give them all that opportunity at WrestleMania. So in a decent match, we see Becky Lynch defeat Bayley, Asuka, Paige, Sasha Banks and Charlotte in 16 minutes and 58 seconds when Becky Lynch defeated Asuka by pinfall with the Hard Knocks. Becky Lynch wins the Women's Championship again. Wanted to put it on Bayley, but Becky and Sasha were unhappy. Putting it on Becky only made Sasha unhappy, so only to keep her strong. So I thought that would maybe help the match. But it is what it is. Becky Lynch was 73 as she begins her next title reign. Bayley 66, Asuka 64, Paige was 75, Sasha was 74, and Charlotte was 64. So they should have done a lot better than they did. But the women's division continues. I'm not sure how I'm going to book this in the split, the brand split. That's how I'm kind of like wanting a bit of time to think about it. We may see two divisions because we need a certain amount of eye candy. Still to be considered though. I'm still unsure. Asuka, improving performance skills is good. Not a lot of negatives there. I just think the booking decisions maybe was a massive negative there. Maybe we should probably put it on Sasha. But she had her moment. We're going to roll with Becky Lynch as champion again. And then Becky is a celebration, and that gets a C64. So given out their moment in the sun. We then have John Cena hyping up a promo against Batista. It's not Cena versus Batista, it is the VIPs, which is Batista, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, and Bobby Roode against John Cena, Austin Aries, Chris Jericho, and I think we managed to get Jeff Hardy in this match. A91 anyway. Cena clearly enjoyed going off script, and it was a great performance. No skill improvements. Only negative was being short, because obviously time constraints. And the match itself was a B77, and about had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, with John Cena, Chris Jericho, Austin Aries, and Jeff Hardy defeat the VIPs, Batista, Bobby Roode, Ziggler, and Miz, in 13:47 when Cena defeated the Miz by pinfall. A B77, shocking that John Cena isn't in a singles match at WrestleMania. I just had paired everyone up and he was last. Too many baby faces over heels, so we had to put him in here. But Cena's getting better at his gimmick. Jeff was slowed down by injury. He only had a 65 performance like Austin Aries. Jericho with 70. Cena by 89, far ahead of everyone else. 71 for Miz, 77 for Ziggler, 83 for Bobby Roode, and a disappointing 61 in ring performance for Batista. Aries is improving technical skills, as is Jeff Hardy, and Bobby Roode's improving flying and performance. Negatives, but a few here for likes of inconsistencies, cap for its length for the match, a couple of guys holding back as well. Well, in fact, that'll be everybody holding back, so that's not going to help us in the slightest. Next up, we've got Shane McMahon, and he announces that he has signed CM Punk to a WWE contract. Obviously, I was saying I was going to bring back CM Punk. The brand split, that's happened. I've edited that in, so Punk has signed. AJ Lee has joined him as well. And just to give him a bit more psychology and star power, going into my brand split. So B-73, and it's great that I made this decision hot on the heels of Punk saying he would never ever return to the WWE. Will he in real life? Probably not, but they've said that about Sony wrestlers, so I thought, why not? We'll still go in this, and with Punk's age at 38, I don't see him being around for a long time in this save, but I think we'll see a lot of AJ Lee going forward. And it gives you some fresh, exciting matches. You know, I'd love to see AJ Lee against half the women's division. I think they could be great matches. And some fresh opponents for Punk. Him against Machine Gun, him against Nakamura. Chances to see stuff like that. Next up, we've got a hype video, which is the Where's My Shovel storyline. And it is for Finn Balor versus Triple H. Obviously, Triple H is getting jealous of his NXT protege's success and decided, I'm going to bury you. And their match, oh wow, holy shit, did not expect that to do as well as that. That's why that came first. But an exceptional match. Finn Balor defeats Triple H in 23:42 by pinfall with a flying double stomp. A91 is incredible. Corey Graves was weak on commentary, but Balor at 94, Triple H with 75. The storyline will stop there, but it continues, but it will stop, sorry. But wow. Literally every storyline will come up with its advance, but we'll end it after the show, and it's completely fresh storylines coming out of here. So even better if Triple H didn't have low morale and declining physical ability, but what an effort. Well played, guys. That pretty much could have main evented. Next up, our second hype package, and it's for Sami Zayn versus Brock Lesnar. B+A8, the true underdog from the underground, against Brock Lesnar, the Beast. Continues the storyline of who the hell are you to challenge Brock Lesnar. And we have a promo from Paul Heyman just saying, Brock, don't, be overconfident against Sami Zayn, but Sami thinks he can take you. He's been causing problems for Brock Lesnar over the last couple of months. He cost Brock Lesnar the Royal Rumble after the little scuffle before the Rumble. It's time to make him pay. So an A92, great from the advocate of Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman, and of course the Beast himself. Let's see how the matchup does. A B80, okay, it could have been a bit better, but it done its job. I think the reason it didn't do as well is because I think we had to protect Lesnar. But it was putting Sami over. That was always going to happen. And about the head, fantastic heat and great wrestling. Sami Zayn defeats Brock Lesnar in 1801 by pinfall with a quick roll-up. B80 is okay, we'll take it. Brock Lesnar was visibly tired towards the end. Heyman doing some good work at ringside. It got the crowd buzzing. Sami Zayn won an in-ring performance of 87 to Brock Lesnar's 76. That storyline will be finished as well. No skill improvements, but most importantly, we have Sami Zayn over, and look at all those negatives for Brock. We've got to figure out what we're going to do with Lesnar, but I needed to build another star, and that star is going to be Sami Zayn. So that could have been a bit better, but I'll take it. Next up, we've got a hype video for The Undertaker versus Kevin Owens. Really interested to see how this goes because of Undertaker's lack of skills in this, because of his age. So this may disappoint a little bit, that's why it's so early. We then have the Undertaker 20-minute entrance, so that's Undertaker making his spectacular over-the-top entrance with a lot of stuff going on. I meant to say the build-up for this match is just basically being Kevin Owens calling out Undertaker saying, hey, if I'm, going to be the man about here, I can show I can beat this dead man. I'm not scared of you. Part of Undertaker going, I'll make you rest in peace, etc., etc. But I really wanted a good match between KO and Undertaker, and a good chance for KO to learn some psychology skills from the dead man. So B81 is not horrible, Undertaker's the worst match for Roman Reigns. In a match that had fantastic wrestling, fantastic and good wrestling, Undertaker defeats KO in 11:39 with a tombstone pile driver. Taker has no plans to retire just yet, so I thought we'll put him over. KO will get his turn. B81, Taker exhausted after an 11-minute match, so I think we might retire Taker next year at Mania. We just need to find the right opponent. Undertaker with 60, KO in 94 performance, and it continues their storyline that will come to an end. No skill improvements here, but a good match for KO. A lot of negatives there for Taker, and the cap match length. So I think if that's a prime Taker, that's an A, maybe even an A-star match. So 11 minutes, I thought that wouldn't expose him, and it did there. So we'll need to keep making his matches even shorter. Next up, we'll get the hype video for Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles, which gets a B80. Of course, this is your champion Styles against the Rumble winner Seth Rollins, so it's a chance for Seth to really make another statement at WrestleMania. We gave him a lot of time. That got the match written up a little bit. It did suffer from a lack of psychology. I was hoping AJ could carry it. But in an exceptional match, Seth Rollins defeats AJ Styles in 33-24 by pinfall. With God's last gift, Seth Rollins wins the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So giving him another moment. Got to put your babyface over as champion surely at WrestleMania, making up for the shambles that was Roman winning it this year. So the fans will go absolutely over the moon for Seth Rollins. They'll be delighted. Seth win 94, AJ win 90. That'll be we'll actually continue that storyline pending and where I end up drafting both superstars. The plan is to have 2 titles. Eventually, I may have Seth go on both brands to start with. No skill improvements to speak of. Negatives. It said it had low heat, it didn't really. It was one of the higher heat storylines. Lack of psychology. It's probably going to be AJ's last big main event match at WrestleMania. Match is over. Seth Rollins walks over to AJ Styles, offers a hand of basically to shake his hand and offer a bit of respect for putting up a good fight, for having a hellacious match. And Styles refuses and decides to walk off, the true heel that he is. An A89. Seth Rollins looked fantastic, AJ looked good, and it just continues the storyline, which, again, I'm not sure how it will go, but if it does continue, it will still have a bit of a higher rating to the storyline. Now I'm nervous. We need this WrestleMania main event to deliver. So we'll get The Rock cutting a promo. He's saying, that Roman Reigns, he thinks he's the guy. He's claimed for so long, that this is family. The Rock helped Roman Reigns get to the next level, and then Roman Reigns stabbed him in the back. So he's going to show Roman Reigns, he's going to do it for the people. He's going to do it for family. So Rock versus Roman Reigns is our main event. A92 there to start the hype package, documenting all the run-ins and the Miz TV stuff and the various other things I've done. Here's an A93. Now we're ready for the matchup. I've just put it as regular. Is it going to deliver? This is going to make or break my WrestleMania, I think. Holy fuck, and it absolutely delivered. Thank you to everyone who recommended we went with regular. An exceptional match. Roman Reigns establishes himself as the biggest star in wrestling. Whoever thought I'd be saying that? In 20 minutes and 26, he defeats The Rock by pinfall by using underhanded tactics. A98, fantastic. Pretty good chemistry, I didn't even know that, and that lifted the match. The Rock win 81, Roman Reigns with a performance of 100, so he brought it in the grand stage of them all. The grandest stage of them all. It continues the storyline, which will probably have repercussions on Raw, but I don't see it going much further forward. When it'll go back to being a personality. Negatives. The Rock being rusty, inconsistency, his declining from physical ability, and Corey Graves' announcing work. But overall, wow, I did not expect that. I was really worried about it. And I finished the show, and it's just basically, although it says there that Dwayne's celebrating, it's really just Roman Reigns kicking the shit out of Dwayne Johnson, showing The Rock, this is my place now, I run it, and ending the show to just hundreds and hundreds of boos. How WrestleMania 32, some people could argue, finished as well. But it really establishes Roman Reigns as the guy. It puts him over as top dog, and he is going to show, maybe a bit of an interest that he's going to go for Seth Rollins' title as well, because he's literally the guy that if I turned him face, easily the face of the company. Take note, WWE, this is how you book Roman Reigns. So overall, interested to see how we score here. Hoping for about 93, 94. There we go, an A94. That increased their popularity in 29 regions. That's the places I've got set up with pay-per-view deals, which would be in the US, Canada, Mexico, Japan, and the UK. Doesn't seem to be a lot of pay-per-view deals available for the likes of most of Central Europe and the European countries there. I think we do have one with Deutschland, Sky Deutschland, but that's like one region. So it's something I'm going to work on, but once we get a lot more money, that's when we'll be getting the WWE network set up and then just hopefully knocking it out of the park in every region. But still my highest show, I'm pretty sure. Not my highest rated match, and I believe that's a 99 I got. But that's me 1 year as well into this save as we go to the April the 1st. So I'm just going to quickly say Finn Balor and Triple H, they delivered, and we'll give it to Dwayne. So compliment all three, as I always do, on a great performance. Finn Balor was pleased, Triple H was pleased, and Dwayne pleased as well. So really happy with that WrestleMania. Went a lot better than I thought. I was really nervous. That's why I honestly took 2 days to bring myself around to booking it and playing it. Just because I was really like, oh no, is this going to be a success or failure? So a quick look here. 7,141,350 buys. DirecTV, Sky Perfect main event box office. So it wasn't shown in Sky Deutschland. That must be my TNA save. But yeah, happy with that. A94. It'll be interesting to see what we've actually got with that in terms of my best show, best ratings and stuff like that. So Shimmer's going to die, so I'm probably going to take them over. Whether I actually physically completely destroy the company or just use it as development, unsure, because I do have a women's development company, so unsure there. Let's see if there's anything else that directly affects us. A couple of freelance things here, a couple of graduates coming up, none to us. Let's see, NXT had a show as well in the same time, Wild at the Weekend. Gail Kim's retiring, so she'll be putting people over. Nothing else really there, to be honest. Crazy Steve's re-signed with TNA, don't really care about that. But fantastic reviews for WrestleMania. Finished first out of 2 in Japan. AJ Lee is now available to work in a new game area, the same as CM Punk. Kurt Hawkins wants a better push. New Japan are making an offer to Greg Mariscillo, I believe that's pronounced, so we'll need to try and maybe get him a written deal. He's one of the ones I was scouting because his overness is actually pretty decent. You know, he's 30, he's at a good age. Should we bring back the former Trent Beretta? Naito wants a rest. Sandow's unhappy. Rhodes is unhappy. Slater and Swagger as well because they've mostly been enhancing people. I say the buy rate 14.28. 8k for a drug test. Cena thinks that Drew Galloway's a star of the future. Finn Balor doesn't like Kalisto. So I'll keep that up so I can decide who I'm going to get shortly. There, that's cool. So what I want to do is, first off, finance. We made 9 million, which was pretty much our pay-per-view buys was a profit. Although to be fair, we did spend a good bit more in miscellaneous. In fact, 6 million more in miscellaneous and 2 million more in tax. So those are big costs of why we didn't make as much profit. But we're certainly on course to go up to 100 million, which means in the first calendar year, we've went from 25 million to 93 million. So that's good. Just going to keep going along at that rate. You're thinking you've got this money, why not spending it? We're just making sure we can get as much coverage as possible on the WWE Network when I go to launch it. So that's promising. Size is pretty much over everywhere in the US. Still going to stay national just for just now. Then we'll maybe go international soon. That deal with, not coverage, it's not what I'm looking for, it's actually broadcasting with Sky Deutschland. There's 2 days left, so one more Raw, and then we'll be getting all those ratings in the UK as well. But yeah, overall we're doing well. I need to go make a brand split now. I need to go make up 12 more pay-per-view names. Probably some months it won't be double months like WrestleMania, Rumble, etc. But it's going well, enjoying it, ready to dig into my second year in charge. Quick look at the creative meeting. So Nakamura is the most over guy in the company, 90s in some places, just the UK and Europe and arguably New Zealand that he needs to get over. Ambrose, CM Punk comes in at number 3, hasn't got amazing overness, 80s, 75s. I say not got amazing overness compared to the rest, you know, that are really getting over. How did Roman Reigns get over with that match? 95, somehow he's not over in most places, when he's literally like 94, 95 across the board apart from New Zealand and a couple other places. So he's like, he is the guy. There's no doubt in that. Next big thing, still Paige and Bayley. We'll bring a few guys up from NXT as well. We'll give storylines for Bo Dallas, the new protege of John Cena. So he's going to come up in, he's only 25 still, so plenty of time there. Who's the time decline? I haven't even debuted Ricky Banderas yet, so I need to give him a gimmick, a character, and he's already declining. But I just wanted to bring something like that in, a good bit of experience, and then a few negatives. I don't know why I said a few negatives, but a few guys here that, you know, I would just strike me as negative people. There, we'll go with that. So apart from that, the last thing I'll check is my character. So we'll click on Shane O'Mac. I won't click there because it's that anymore. There we go. And it's just user stats. So I've been in charge for a year. That's exactly a year since we started. 171 shows I've done since the game came out. Pretty much this has been the main save. Obviously my TNA one as well, but they're the only 2 saves I'm literally doing. Still the best show was Tribute to the Troops with 96, so that's better than my Mania. It's Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Balor. That 6-man tag, we get the 99 I believe, is still the best match. But highest attendance was WrestleMania. My reputation I just put it greatest because it's an offline save. Buy rate was also a 14.28, so that's the highest by far. And we get a 39.32 for Monday Night Raw, covering all our regions. So none of the poor ratings that Raw have been getting recently. But apart from that, last thing I do want to check, titles. So Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is a 70C plus with Darren Young as the champion. The IC title is a 68 with Apollo Crews, but that's good. I've had 4 champions in a year. I don't think that's too bad. Not really hoarding it out. Money in the Bank sits at B78. That will be obviously defended in June. The Royal Rumble is a B plus 85 with Seth Rollins as the current Rumble winner. US titles at a B minus 71 despite some glorious defences from Shinsuke Nakamura. We've definitely restored the prestige in that through him and Cesaro after obviously KO getting injured and Kurt Angle not really having an opponent to face. The Women's Championship is at a C62, really gets prestige. It's been kind of all over the place, but mostly settled at C62. Given every one of the four horsewomen a chance with it, apart from Bayley. Her time will come. But it's been good to get 2 reigns out of Becky, a chance for Charlotte, a chance for Sasha Banks, a chance for Paige, and we'll bring some more women through. And a good chance there for Enzo and Big Cass to cement themselves. Actually, we'll look at Enzo, 53-54 in this over, so we've managed to get him up pretty quickly since he's pushed the main roster from 35s. I'm assuming Big Cass will be roughly the same. So pretty happy with that. And the World Heavyweight title back to B82. Seth Rollins is your champion. Second time with the title belt. And again, 4 champions in the space of the year. I think that's pretty good considering one was Dean Ambrose and his Money in the Bank cash in. In fact, no, it wasn't because he failed his cash in, but still, Dean Ambrose. And I think we'll have more reigns this year because we probably will have a successful cash in. Might even try it for an angle. But most of all, man, I'm having fun with it. Really excited to dig into season 2, or the second year in here, and really just start to take it more into my direction of fantasy booking. Wow, that's a lot of people unhappy. That's a lot of morale issues. I think it's a lot of people that'll be pissed that they didn't get on Wrestlemania. Yep. So yeah, I'll have to clear the air with a lot of guys, but there'll probably be some releases. I've got a massive roster that I just need to try and trim down. Well, not really necessarily trim down. I wanted to get to brand splits so we can give more guys an opportunity. So you get people like a Tommy in going forward, you get people like a Joe Coffey getting a chance in the WWE, and bringing new stars that you wouldn't necessarily think would be what the WWE looks for. And of course, as you can see, I have called Tom Phillips, young boy Tom. So yeah, that's it for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching. As I say, despite the fact I'll probably take about another week or so until I get the next episode sorted via picking up my brand split and stuff like that, by the time this goes live, you'll not even notice that because, yeah, I'm recording this at the start of July, so I'll get plenty of time to sort stuff out. But as always, guys, thanks for the support. Let me know what you thought of the WrestleMania card. Do you think the right guys went over? What do you think of the ratings? If you have booked WrestleMania yourself, please, if you get any Gaiazos, screen shares, put them in the comments section below. Let's have a look at them. Let's see, compare them. Let's discuss how other people have booked WrestleManias. But as I say, loving TW 2016 so much, no idea what Football Manager is anymore. So thanks always for your support, guys. As I say, if you want to keep reading up more on TW, you've got the Grey Dog Software website, you've got their forums, you've got Dynasties there, you get the Fantasy Bookers, so many options, so many guys with so much creative energy and creative ideas that, can maybe help you along in your booking as well. So definitely check those guys out, and hopefully I'll see you for the next season. Bye bye.